Yes.
Sure. Two questions and a third if it ends up being possible. There's an article in today's Chosun Ilbo of South Korea describing a letter from Secretary General Ban Ki-moon to former Prime Minister Kim Jong-pil saying, I'll see you next January. I would appreciate it very much if you could continue to give me guidance in the future as before. And the headline is, Ban Ki-moon lets slip presidential ambitions. And I know that's their interpretation.
That's quite a bit of an inference.
What I'm going to ask you about is it says that the letter arrived in a diplomatic pouch. So if this letter was some sort of a personal correspondence, was this an official correspondence from the UN? What was I mean, it says that it arrived in a diplomatic pouch, but he's a former. Does all letters that Secretary General sends out go in a diplomatic pouch, or is this a use of the UN
That doesn't mean it's UN
pouch?
correspondence. He's also been, as you know, prior to his time at the United Nations, he's been in the diplomatic service. So that could be a different diplomatic pouch. We're not. It
Can you
doesn't
find
imply
out,
that
in
it's
this
a
case
UN.
of this, can you confirm this letter reported by Chosun Ilbo, and then give whatever gloss you want on it, including how it was delivered?
On this particular thing, if it's a UN communication, certainly we might have something to say about it. If it's not, we wouldn't.
But if it's not, could it go in a UN pouch? That's my question.
There's nothing here saying that it's a UN pouch. Not every diplomatic pouch is a UN pouch. Yes.
Sure. I wanted to ask a media access question, and it would presumably impact the majority of journalists that you accredit here. There was a meeting of the high-level political forum on the SDGs on Wednesday, and it was listed in the journal as concluding at 6:30 to 7. So I went to cover it, but I was unable to stake it out and speak to anyone because there was no one in Malu, and the guards refused to let me through the turnstile, which I want to clarify to you, does not work for green P passes, which is the majority of journalists you have here. So I wanted to know, it's not a question of beating up on Malu for not being present at 6:30, although the meeting was listed, but what can be done? What is the policy? Does this mean that the majority of journalists can't stake out such meetings, or should there be a policy when there's an official meeting of that level at 6:30 that the journalists can go through and speak to diplomats about it?
Well, we certainly try to make sure that access is there for all meetings. Malu tries, the media accreditation and liaison unit tries to be present as much as it can. Obviously, for later scheduled meetings, it's hard to have escorts for all these, but we have been in touch with the media accreditation people, and they've assured us of their constant efforts to try and be there as escorts for you.
Why not just
And
tell
with that-
security to let people through? If there's no escort, then you can't cover it.
No, that's not how security works. And with that, let me get